Sorry for the delay on this listing. I didn't realize that sadistic would be a blocked word. I don't know if that Twitch has it blocked. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to look. Whatever. That don't really matter. So yes, I've been excited for this Grand Arena season for a long while. I've been doing so much stuff to get ready for this. I don't actually know what my final top 80 GP count is because it keeps on going up. I think I might end up in the 90k increase range. I don't think it would go as high as 100k, although I am about to drop another Zeta. Just, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited and hopeful that finally the matchmaking that we can make an agreement, see eye to eye, get some spicier fights potentially. I don't think that's too much to ask. Surely not. Yeah. So let's begin. So this is kind of where we're at right now. The raid team, there are a few weak links, but the overall modding I feel extremely good about. This is already, if you saw this era stream, it's the same foundation except for didn't really end up making a whole lot of changes. The one thing I'm really sad about, if I could find a way to sneak it in before lock, I would love to do this. If I could just see how my guild store looks tonight. If I really want it to be just pure crazy max potential, there is the new Vader counter I discovered. No Watt, no Piet. You know, depending on if we're planning to go triple GL defense, then it's entirely likely that we'll just be doing Vader against Rey anyway or something like that. With this setup, we do have Jedi Master Luke and Jedi Knight Revan and Gas and Jedi Knight Luke running interference for a lot of popular Galactic Legend setups anyway. Could also be like Vader versus Sith Eternal Emperor or something like that. But just, yeah. I would love... Right, that's kind of the... If we talk about just pure value trade, the only reason... Sure is a wildly expensive gear, even now. I mean, he always was, that's why I never really got to him. Is like... This would just be a really cool punish to have. Like, I love that this exists. But can I really justify sinking 600 carbs, especially within the next? We know that something is coming in about a week and change. I'm super hyped for this, but I don't think I can really justify doing this now, or just take like some stupid whaling. Definitely not looking to do that. But yeah, so that I would say that like if there's one thing I would regret not locking into, that's what we're looking at. But just in terms of what we're inheriting from last season, what we have to work with so far, we do have some really, really sick stuff. Some characters have already evolved what they had mods on with, just by virtue of, you know, their stuff got sliced in the offseason. 362 Queel probably doesn't need to stay. 352 Cara Dune, almost, man, Gideon is hitting so soon. And Cara Dune and just Mon Mothma in general, my relationship with them is gonna have to evolve as time passes. It's a little bit rough there. So the whole goal that we're going with this defense, I should explain off the top, is we have triple GL, and then we have Luke with guarded Chupio, which can be enough to mix up some people right off the bat. We're going to be speeding up Han as well, just to make the CLS mirror even more annoying for people. And then to top things off, we have this Padme with Barris team, which I think could end up being a nice potential timeout almost for Luke against Padme. Just because, you know, the main method that Luke is looking for is you do indirect AoE damage to just chip people out over time. And I think Barris would help kind of deny that while holding Grandmaster Yoda as well, not necessarily spending him there. The issue being, I planned out 8 teams. I forgot that it was only 7 teams, so we're essentially over-prepared, and one thing needs to be cut. So, we have these 3 teams. I'm probably blocking a little bit. We don't even need the chat box, I would say. Let's just go. Let's just go. You're gone, you're gone. Actually, we could probably just... Sure, that's fine. We do need to be out of the way a little bit. So the whole goal of this team, the reason why I call this season Sadistic is we got the triple GL. We have 341 on Django now. That's actually got overclocked from last season, but it was basically 337 Bosk, 336 Django. Now 341. We can fix that. We can adjust that. For this team, we had a double speed trap, I guess you would call it. Essentially triple. This Kara needs to be a little bit faster if she's really gonna carry her weight here, I think. But she was 352, and then we had a decently fast Hawthermal Scout as a 300 speed anchor for in case they went for something that disabled Kara. Worked out fantastically last season, was able to scoop up holds against Jedi Knight Revan and the like, specifically because of this fast Hawthermal Scout. Very, very important because that Kara doesn't always stick, right? And then last but not least, this team that might be too expensive. We have one of the fastest Quills in the game. It was the fastest Quill in the game last season. I don't know if anyone has seen a change of heart. Probably too fast. I'm probably going to nerf him. This dude got even faster. 362 Quill. Passing out the turn meter straight into a veteran Han. Should still be. If Quill got faster, it might not be anymore. This Han is clocked to go 100% turn meter right off of Quill. Passing out turn meter. You hit him with the crossbow. You've got the stun on primary plus AoE ability block, which cascades into Beskar Mando, recording from 237 speed all the way up to humble little 362. Well, it might have been 350s again. I would have to recheck the math on if he actually reaches Quill's new speed. But yeah, so the whole idea being we get Beskar Mando up to top speeds. Then we have Resistance Zero Finn. This is the one downside of the team, I would say, is if we really want the combo to play out, then we need to give Finn a high speed set as well, which I guess is true for the Bounty Hunters as well to some degree. Not quite as expensive as this, but it's somewhat true, right? So like I've had this team... Someone used Darth Revan against this team before because despite everything else, despite this, and that, ultimately speaking, the thing that matters here is Finn speed. So we could dump some extra speed on him. It has had some pressing holds. It has held against gas. I think first things first, we need to look at Sassy Pants. So I set this up. I think we're going to be doing a different plan for Darth Revan this season, some slightly different mods, so that does free up some speed mods. So if we're looking to add to the speed trap here, I was thinking we could have a 365 Sith Assassin. Still got the fastest Quill. Not surprising. It's the thing that I'm most curious for this season. I call this Sadistic for... It's a double meaning. It's Sadistic for my opponents, hopefully. But also Sadistic because it means that all of my best mods are on defense on some weird teams which means that we have to be a little bit more resourceful in some cases. We'll kind of get to how resourceful we'll need to be in a little bit, though. But if we wanted to go this route, you have the fastest assassin. 365, I would say, seems like plenty, unless we're talking Gideon. I mean, if we go to swjh.gg, I guess I should probably get OBS set up so I can go full desktop. Only thing that's a bummer about this stream format is I do have an arena to climb right now. I am kind of just needing to do that. This is basically like an hour and everything. People have been asking to see a stream like this for a while, so I wanted to oblige, especially because I'm super excited about this opening week. But yeah, we do have to kind of climb every every 10 minutes. I was really hoping we would get ult there. I want to do sneaky play. Grab some extra AoE damage. Yeah, it's all kind of ruined now. Oh well. Yeah, good enough. Alright, so the way that I like to do this should be fine. Oh god, I forgot I zoomed in desktop. Let me unzoom real quick. Alright. We have... I like to go to player data. I like to sort by top 100 GP guilds. Just, I don't know. I don't think my matchmaking break... I don't think I'm going to be fighting top 10 guilds specifically. I am hoping that we get a significant bump in players, but the game just likes to keep GP separated. I don't think it's fully in the cards yet. So, we have... sort by stats, top 100 GP, and then I like to just look at the bell curve and then try to pick a spot for where I'm trying to clock against. So, if we're looking at Starks, I think it's important to check both Piet and Stark, but like... Okay, still within safe ranges. Easily within safe ranges against Stark. I wouldn't be surprised if most people have Piet clocked faster. I feel like at Gideon speed, I'm just gonna get depressed. So yeah, I mean, certainly we're getting within ranges where it'd be a possibility. I think it'll still be fine. I mean, yeah, based on my Sith Assassin speeds, she might not even need to go this fast, because there is one Piet in the game that could match. Okay. I guess we'll do... Nope. And of course Gideon. We're not quite there yet. I expect we'll see more Gear 13 soon, but this 345 plus number is gonna fill out, I would expect, very easily over time. We got like 1 to 2 weeks, I would say. Alright. So let's say that's almost a bit over budgeted. So I have a to-do list. I could almost just add this as a picture out on the side. Stuff I'm thinking about. This is everything I want to hopefully hit on. We need Kiadi Mundi given a full rethink remod. Anakin, we need potency. Mon Mothma, our speed was bad. Kylo, I think, kind of needs a mod rework as well. There's a JTR versus CLS counter that's been floating around, and it either means that we need to kind of recommit. CLS, I've gotten a little bit lazy modding on. We either need to go back down the offense route, or we need to... this is actually kind of what I've already done. I was on Bruiser CLS, I guess, last time. Not exactly the best modding commitments either. So if we just go look at mods right now, sort by speed, this is what I like to do. I mean, the speed secondary filter isn't actually that important unless you're not clicking on a slot, because then you just filter out the arrows. Like, if you're just going slot by slot, you're gonna get speed anyway, right? So like Han, Poe, we can kind of see some interesting shades really quickly. Most of this checks out. Car coming in, Sith Assassin. The question is, I think we probably end up cutting one of the speed teams. And the question to me ends up being, which one do we cut? I think it might end up actually just being Bounty Hunters, which opens up some nice options for us to take like a God modded Vader. We also do just have one useful way to look at this, is if you just want to see what God mods you have floating around, just go only in assigned speed secondary, and then just see what we see. Alright, so we got 2 fresh 26 plus, 123. A few 19s, then we're kind of heading down to the 17s, the 16s pretty quickly. Okay, so some toys. I guess first up, if we're talking about speed, potentially unallocated correctly, we gotta kind of look at this. The problem is going to be the crit damage. I mean, we have this, which is also kind of why I want to potentially consider dropping Django off. Like, this is very, very nice for Kylo. Hits the sets, but the problem is if we're looking for speed, the offense kind of doesn't really become viable. I've been considering just going, like, embracing that it's just going to be a wacky set for now. Or a wacky primary on the cross. Just keeping him fast. Yeah, the thing that I'm concerned about bounty hunters, let's see, if I go and pull up, I only really started running this in the last week of the last 5v5 season, which is why I kind of just want to use this some more. I just want to see how it performs. I think 47 was the last. I'm not 100% on that. Nope, 46. So yeah, and like, we only really got everything kicked into gear in the last week, and it didn't even really get a whole lot of testing, unfortunately. So like, round 2. Imp Troopers against Mon Mothma, they must have had a speed lead over Kara, that's fair. Kara not having any extra lead from any, or speed from any of their sources. 352 does feel a little bit low. Huh. Wait, no, that was me. That's right. Yeah. I knew that I had done JTR DR. I was gonna say it was weird seeing someone else do it. Yeah, okay. Shotzi clones against the Beskar Mando team. Shotzi clones is just going to be a common thing against my defense in general, and the question to me, you know, because it's just a lot of speed, so it's a good way to break the speed trap and at least go first. This was a result I was really happy with for the most part. Guarded Chupio, protect against Night Sisters. Mon Mothma timed out against Fast Kara. That's just kind of a train wreck for them. Okay, we had our fast Kylo setup holding against Jedi Knight Revan with Jedi Knight Luke. Ray clones I'm iffy on, but we just don't have a good way to use Beskar Mando otherwise with our current tunes. Getting lost in the sauce. This is entirely a sauce stream. There is nothing else here. We are... This is what I do off stream, but just some people have been really curious to see how this works, so this is just the process. We look at what people are using, we look at what people have used, ways to possibly exploit it. I mean, that's just a value trade. We take that every single time. This is more along the lines of what I'm expecting and worried about sometimes. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they got the full clear on me. We got 1 hold. They held 2 GL. I only had 2 on defense. It's tough to say. Not gonna read too much in on this. Traya against Mon Mothma is just gonna sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It is very risky. That is a reason why this happened, right? If you move mods around after the season starts, do the mods stay the same in Grand Arena? Yes, but they can't see what you equipped. So in this case, the moment that I finish this, I'm probably remodding for Territory Wars, so my opponents won't even know what I have until game time. Kind of devious, but also, like, it's just, yeah, we kind of have to just do the thing at some point, right? I can't not remod for Territory Wars just out of GAC honor or whatever. Alright, 1 week back. This was kind of like the early stages. You could see, like, this was funny. But I don't really read anything into that. DR against Bounty Hunters. Got him a 56. That's probably a value trade. Padme timing out against Mon Mothma is a very, very good sign. It's interesting. Curious how much remodding I've done so far? Not actually that much. We're kind of just digging in right now. I'm looking at... I was trying to find anything conclusive about the past season. Yeah, see, I feel like... This is where I think Padme Zeris would have come in so clutch. I'm really curious to see how it's going to perform. And Barris isn't even that hard to flex. I would say it's actually... It's that, like... This is a cheaper team that blocks more teams, essentially. It's possible that, like, not having Yoda, I don't know, maybe people will try to use, like, Vader and could use it again. Like, EP lead Vader. Again, not having Yoda there to block with the Tenacity opener, but... I think that this is going to be the more common thing people want to do nowadays. Yeah, I think it'll be cool. $52 gas versus like this ramshackle B team setup. I think I have to be pretty happy with that. And this is with Nest as well, which, yeah, I wasn't really happy putting Nest on defense, so having her versatility back on offense. It is possible, by the way, that we're almost aged out of Nest solos for the most part. Like, we really are reaching a point where, like, even the weak teams are Nest proof. That I think is worth keeping in mind. It is a concern. Yeah, we weren't really fully bought on those strategies, so we had like the resistance cheese. I'm surprised that this is such a common trend. I mean, it's not a bad read. I agree with it for the most part. 55 in this trade probably has to be ugly for them. But this is surprisingly consistent in being a running theme here. This is what has me concerned. I guess it is a 55 for them still. But it feels like a lot of mods to potentially waste that. Like, Padme can kind of just chill, right? And it'll just invalidate all of those speed mods that I gave. Like, this is probably the person who did closest to what I expect. I guess it did cost them a decent amount of mess, though. I'm a little bit surprised that they lost gas, though. Without a Resistance Hero Finn and Poe, I'm really surprised that their taunt dropped. It would have been fairly easy for them to just maintain gas protect or JML protection with assist calls. Our modding on SLK will definitely be tighter this season, give this more of an issue. Yeah, same thing here. I think Barris will be a good call. Not a whole lot to read into there. EPBSF. Oh, BSF with the forest site, so Kara can't reduce her turn meter either. That's true. Still sounds fairly risky. Kara can't reduce Vader's turn meter either, but they don't have Treya, so Vader would still potentially get stunned. Yeah, the Zeta BSF is interesting. Okay. Usually Empire get thrown back by the Tenacity, sure. My Mothma modding, aside from that speed, hasn't actually been that good. I'm supposed to be down here, aren't I? Alright. That is one of the bigger notes for this season that I need to hit on is... this is gonna be embarrassing to show. This is like, yeah. It was hyper afterthought. It was just like unequipped, sort by speed, toss on whatever. I mean, you could do worse, right? But you could do a lot better at the same time. Don't really know what to do with POW either. Clash would not approve. Hey, Clash wouldn't clear me. Clash should be out here waiting for Grievous to show up with his K2. Like, I'm ready, guys. It was worth the gear. The real K2 would come into town. The Terminator train at the ready. Or Cassian just waiting for a chance to take a turn. Saying, where'd my life bars go? Alright. So 2 things to hit right off the bat, actually. If we're just gonna start patching, I think maybe we do decommission bounty hunters. Maybe spin them up for a possible, like, anti-DR. Especially if we think that Vader, like, we're not gonna have Vader Shore. Don't necessarily always want to be doing Watt with Vader there either. Depends entirely on what the opponent is doing, but I want to be able to stay flexible. God, wait, she actually just has almost the best speed she can. Wait a minute. Yeah, but, like, do we really need to care this badly about potency, though? This team has potency share as well, so we're kind of worrying about her being self-sufficient on stats a little bit too much, I feel like. And she was about speed capped out before. At least if we're staying true to sets. Okay, so where does that leave us now? And if we wanted to just go full dumb... 358. What's the story there? I'm just hyped for this season. Letting myself get carried away a little bit. I went hard on his refreshes as well. So, some shipments, some Cantina refreshes. Is what it is. Don't worry about it. This GAC season, if this goes the way I'm hoping with the top 80, like my top 80 is actually extremely close to Zeros now, just to give you an idea. So I'm really curious on what GAC matchmaking is going to do with us. Like here, let's see. So where do I start if I mod from scratch? This is actually something that I'm not used to doing, which is now that Hot Utils has V2 loadouts, I can kind of just go back to where I was at a given point in time and start tweaking. Generally, we're in the middle stage right now. So the first stage would be going to characters like Queel and Cara Dune, just your top speed characters. Like, this is how I did this original remod, is like, okay, I want a... .336 Django. I mean, this mod hit speed in the off season. Sure, it's close enough, right? I knew I wanted to have a Bosk Django speed stagger, so I assigned those mods. Then I did the math for Queel, got him set up with Veteran Han. Veteran Han's fast enough that he actually really doesn't need much. It's actually really, really nice. Veteran Han's base speed ends up being really clutch for this team as a value add, and you just keep nests. Veteran Han not really doing much anywhere else anyway. So I assigned more speed ceiling up here. Piet, try to keep him fairly relevant. I know that we kind of want to be on speed Stark now. We'll kind of come back to that. We also are kind of getting taxed in the triangle depth in some cases. But yeah, this is basically all just about budgeting. So actually, one thing we can do, speaking of budgeting, is we wouldn't have assigned this in these cases. We have a 27 to free up, a 24 to free up. Probably am just going this route this time around. I don't actually know how much speed I actually want to worry about here. We probably do still want some, right? I can only assume. I don't really know what I want to do with my Ray either. Maybe Offense Ray would be fun as a pairing with Ray clones, since the clone turn meter might just accelerate them, or accelerate her to ult a little bit. We do have an issue of needing some more 6-dot crit avoids, which we could actually farm out before lock. Oh god, Arena. Please don't be missing too many mods. We'll make it work. This is really hard to multitask. Does JML do anything with Cam and no gas? Yes, that is also the plan for this season. Close. Just, thank you. I don't know if he has AoE coming up. If he does, I'm gonna regret it. Poke is fine. We like poke. How far off are we from payout within this time period? I probably burned enough time that we need to refresh once or twice to hit. We definitely have to refresh this one. I didn't even check what we just went into. Please don't be Sith Eternal Emperor. Okay. Playable. I go Gas doesn't go for the counterattack on Ray, even though it's wide open. Sir. Dev Team Race Squad, it really is. I mean, this is Arena now, man. Everyone is catching up. People are just using what they know. CG knows best. Days? I don't know what I expected. Get some nice reductions here, maybe. We got some. Alright, we got time for how many more battles naturally? And I think we make it. As long as we don't forget. Hey, what's up, Gym Shoes? Okay. So let's say we decommission bounty hunters. Where do we actually want to rebudget those, though? This is kind of why... I know it's like Crimea River type stuff, but this is actually why having a really wide top end can actually become kind of awkward, is it makes... It's really hard to think in terms of like 5 or 6 potential Ferrari sets rather than just like 1 or 2. Because when it's 1 or 2, you just have some tough choices to make, and whatever you land on is what you land on. Not to say that Darth Revan was really using them. But okay. So, possible competition. They could just rebudget over to Finn, could make that team sicker. I do still think that that could be a dark horse team on defense, so I actually don't mind that idea that much. It could also just make a fun flex to stick into Rey sometimes. I actually don't hate that idea. Alright, we're not doing Dominion music. Can we just do like... You know what, good enough. I'll take that. We do have Vader, like this is the other issue that I'm having right now, is I want almost all of my mods to be on defense to... The whole idea is I want to beat people up with my mod advantage, and the only way that's going to happen is by forcing them into awkward matchups on defense, but I also just really want to do stuff like this. Like I really want to try running something like this. This Vader's stat line is just ridiculous. But it's really, really hard to justify running like a 5 speed alongside a 26 and a 24 and a 26, right? Even though the stat line issues feels pretty remarkable. 90% potency is a little bit shy, but like 97% crit chance, 82k offense, almost 83k with 222% crit damage is insane. But having that on Vader does feel a little bit wasted. What are we at currently? Because we do have a 20 and a 26 on this Vader, and a 23, whatever that's worth. 95% potency, 92% crit damage. Offense is a little bit higher, crit chance is a little bit lower. We don't really have a whole lot of options on the triangle still, unfortunately. I think it's fine for some characters to steal, even though we do kind of have the same weird imbalance. It feels like it has to be a mistake to not have my Vader using this, but it's really tough to say. 2 more after. Yeah, we got time. 40 o'clock and 50 o'clock, and we're good. Question is, who is he stealing from this? Huh. B48 is actually kind of wild. Wow. This feels like a waste, though. I need this to be that new health set. We're not just going for wasteful. Double defense is actually kind of cute as well. It does mean it's going to be a little bit harder for them to diffuse the whole situation. We could really just oh, dude, what? I didn't even realize. I guess Finn is pretty fast. He really doesn't need to be on this upper end, though. This is the... So if I was saying that it's a headache to try to track all of the fast mods, this is the fun side where you just kind of surprise yourself sometimes. And then you get to laugh and say, haha, this would be a pain to deal with, and then it's not your problem anymore. You just unleash it on someone else. Why do we have gas running at 20? Wait a minute. Probably because there was some line of similar... It's because he has a CR arrow, I think. Why not some CC modding? It kind of is at the point. Yeah, it's because of this, so I tried to counterbalance with this. Do we not have a better option? Did not mean to click that. I mean, workable. Okay, let's run the hypothetical. So we go over here, that probably means that we're keeping... There's no way that we have, like... Yeah. So... Means we're on the hook for a square, but we should have a better supply. Well, do we? Wait a minute. This is actually something I discovered recently. My squares are actually kind of in need of some reinforcement. But they don't really have any, like, obvious candidates. I mean, the reason why they don't have a lot is because none have really proven themselves. Been working on that, but how many 60 do I have? Not that many. My opponents tend to have more than me. Don't know what that really says about me or not, but actually, you know what? For one refresh, getting 12 was actually pretty solid. I'll take that. We're almost to the next arena battle. I don't think it needs to be Poe. I don't think Poe needs to be bringing heat. I mean, it can't hurt, but it's really just a Beskar Mando setup. This is actually a really fun thing I tried a while ago. This is like a really good test for your mod collection, by the way. And if you just go to, like, let's say CD, turn on 6 dot, and then you just like click. So it's better to do if you go to an automatic character then. There. This is like a really good test of like showing priorities and like places you might have possibly missed. I mean, you probably saw it a little bit already. Turn off unassigned. 5, 5, 8, 6, 10, 7. So right off the bat, we can see that both of these slots are actually really, really strained if we're looking for, you know, fielding fully committed damage sets. Right, especially on the square. The diamonds can delay a little bit, but my square really needs to be caught up a bit. Right? Especially because a lot of these are like ridiculously good. My circle slot, that's like brag or anything, I guess, but my luck on damage circles has been kind of insane lately. Like this. That's doing okay. I mean, it was kind of a low roll. But it's just been like... Yeah, this was new. That was new. Don't really think about that one. Also this one. So it's like, I have a lot of groundswell of support, but we can already see that, hey, let's do both, right? Might tell a different story. Unassigned off, we have 11, 8, 8, 12, 9. So still the same story, right? Even with the offset. If you were just happen to be heavier on crit chance, then it's okay. That can actually work out sometimes, but like, we don't even have that much more. Like, we're still short that type as well. So still an issue. Actually, yeah, I might just start farming towards that. Although again, we don't really have like a gimme. Or like bare minimum, and we can see like most of these are showing like not ideal pairing so far. This one's like kind of okay, but eh. This one does show promise. I mean, kind of a nice fit for the purpose. We got percent protection and percent defense on not bad one rolls. Like, they're pretty solid values, so does fit the intended purpose of going bulky gas for JKR gas versus Ray. Alright, where's my to-do list? Sith Eternal Emperor. I haven't actually... I'm not even really sure how I'm supposed to be modding him, but I want to say it's probably speed, health, crit damage on the triangle. Right, like probably just chuck in health and percent offense. Play one of these two. Going health overs over his own protection region. It's because, like, if you look, even unmodded, look at his health value versus his protection value. If you're just looking for sheer effective health, it's kind of a no-brainer. A lot of his protection gain ends up being from what he steals, ultimately speaking. Probably depends on how you plan to use him, though. Okay, we need to hop into arena. I'm gonna bully the Kylo because I know my Revan's missing a mod. I don't want to 50-50 that. Jedi Mirror is where your missing mods is a pretty big pain. never works out the way I want it to. Okay. We could try like a tenacity POW and sprinkle some tenacity on Mon Mothma or something. I don't know. So what's our Han speed at right now? I'm pretty sure he has a couple of Ferrari mods and a couple of janky mods because he's running defense sets. I guess only one Ferrari. I would consider this a Ferrari mod just because of roll quality. But I think we could do better. Probably don't really need to be on the defense set. We could just go spread of the three. See where it lands. Let's do Kylo first. We need to... I talked about how I did it by speed before, but we kind of need to do the same with damage mod priority. Alright, speed, health, crit damage. I think we're going the janky cross for now. Maybe defense cross. I mean, give it to Finn. Wouldn't even necessarily mind a broken set. Perhaps. Reason why I'm doing that is because our fastest percent offense is 17. Second fastest is 16. I guess we don't actually have to worry about health set at this point then if we're already committed down that path. Square depth is actually kind of lagging behind a little bit. You click the 8th one here, we're at 22. We click the 8th one, we're at 24. We click the 8th one, 20. Click the 8th one, 19. 8th one, 19. I mean, this is what he used to use. We need to be on speed. Maybe we just leave it as is. 579 feels really slow to me compared to what I like to run them. No, wait, we just trade that down. 582 still not great. If we're only just trying to clock Finn to go faster, then I think we can definitely trade them off a little bit. Fighting 5 still feels a little bit slow. Okay. I'm gonna try just full committing this time around. Probably should have done that to begin with. I don't know if we want to go full speedless and just embrace it, or I feel like we do. This is actually one spot where hot utils would be kind of neat if we could secondary sort, which is something hot utils can do. So we could sort by speed and secondary sort. But secondary sort only compares between competing speeds. The sort that I'm looking for doesn't really exist. I would want to be able to like divide between like 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, and like within that sort by tenacity or something. Let's just start here. Get a tenacity number, work our way down. Problem with the triangles being that they're all bulk based, so not necessarily the best for survivability. To some degree, I guess. .264 isn't actually that bad of a speed drop. .203 isn't exactly killing it. I mean, most of these mods don't even have tenacity secondaries. So let's see. Chewy really is competing for a lot of these, huh? God, I would love to be able to... I mean, I am able. I can't wait until the point in time where I decide that it's time to start slicing down tenacity 6D through A. Just go hunting. I'm sure some of your tenacity treasure. It was just rough. Actually, you know what? For the amount of work that I put into tenacity, I was actually kind of happy with how quickly I turned around. I was able to build a collection without obsessing over it for too long. It feels like you could just get stuck in a tenacity rabbit hole for so long, just hunting for solid rolls. Alright, if you do the 3... Close. We really don't have a mod to support that, which is unfortunate. I mean, this was just a speed gamble that missed, but I have 5 defense value. Actually, isn't that bad. Credit where it's due. Old Ben, we do need to worry about speeding up. We'll gladly rob that from that. I don't know how much I care about Flux speed out of 5v5. In 3v3, I felt like I cared a lot more about JML speed. But if we're looking for, like, some marked improvements... Everyone seems to be undecided on cam modding. And the biggest issue is just his lack of crit chance. It'd be a lot easier to just mod him for crit damage otherwise. don't exactly know how much I want to give him to compete with fast SLK setups. It's become popular enough, even with people that I was fighting before, that I expect to see it a lot here, so we do need to be able to just do it. I'd always be curious if we could just go triple potency and go protection down here. Raid time? True. I'm not sure what to come back to old Ben. I have a lot of 14 speeds. I almost went into that battle. Sheesh. Do we get to pick up like this? Probably have to aim here just in case. Okay, we did. Figured, just wasn't sure. It feels like we are starting to reach a point where I have to start choosing. Like, we have the top end on defense, but it's like, okay, do we want to start compromising offensive counters versus extra defensive flavor? It's an interesting place to be stuck on. I am actually feeling a little bit stuck, or like we are just going to have to commit one way or the other. Revan, I'm actually really fine cutting speed on for the most part. Most of his role this season, I feel like, is going to end up just being get savior proc and proceed. Issue is 69% potency isn't even that high. I was saying maybe we could break the set, but no. If anything, we actually, yeah. We got really lousy on the sets from last season. We're committing this. This should be able to bring it back up to at least a 14 fairly easily. I think we could go even higher, though. Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, there are some cases, like if we're doing JKR against Ray, then I do think there is room for me to regret cutting down his speed too harshly. But not by much. 66 still feels slow. I want more. It's really just these two. Everything else is fairly committed. Just needs to make a couple of harsh cuts, I guess. I think given what we saw in Set Assassin, I think we could actually trade them out a little bit. Oh god, we broke the speed set. I was like, I just added a good like 12 extra speed secondaries and my speed went up by 2. The issue is that protection triangles are at a premium for me, so unless we just break the triangle, which we could. Might cost a banner, but it might just also be nothing. 277's okay. 277 still feels a little bit slow. It's a start, though. I guess Bastila really doesn't need to worry about potency either. If any of this could have been old Ben's. We actually could just swap them back around. So what's the actual math? So we're racing Hux, right? I guess I'm supposed to be climbing Ship's Arena just about now as well. I don't know, I guess like 315, maybe. Let's say 345. I'm still not sure if I want Bastila to be faster or slower than Ben. Faster, slower did feel nice with him counterattacking sometimes, actually. Hux might point out for his advantage boost. It's true. Doesn't J-Carrot lead negate that though? Am I crazy on that? Units are immune to bonus turn meter effects from later abilities until the start of the first turn of battle. Yeah, it's negated. Okay, so let's just check right now. Where are we at? 279, I think we're plus 30. This is defense, this is not offense. Whatever. 10, 15, 25, 30, 35. Okay. Plus, depending on the turn order. I guess at that point you're just not even necessarily racing against Hux because we'll have Mark anyway. But there is Hermit Yoda. I guess for situations where we miss Savior. Working about stopping Hux DM from SLK lead. Yeah, but I believe that's negated. I am getting a little bit tired, so I am blanking out a little bit. Normally the last couple of days it's been bad. I've been crashing like as my arena climb was supposed to start. Excuse me? Fleet Chart's getting restless, I guess. This is actually the lowest that I've ever gotten in Fleet Arena. Actually beginning to come a little bit of a problem. Here's hoping that they don't share my payout. So far I haven't had someone coming in sharing it, but I guess there's always room for firsts. I really don't want to have to play that song and dance of, hey, I offer you second. Do you agree to my terms? actually kind of nice. Except for the part where we're erasing. Wait. Okay, that was weird. For a second, look at the buzz droids were staying, even though they shouldn't have been. Man, we were close. Play ships just seems off. I do it. So where did I fall from? Is this the same guy? 23 or 28, so 9. Yeah, definitely haven't seen the name climbing before. There's definitely a lot more new names lately, though. Man, shards really are starting to get restless, though. I mean, the ship's GET2 meta is settling, the GL meta is settling. People are just... Everyone's getting their stuff. It's going to be causing a lot of turmoil, I think. Alright. Speaking of turmoil... Didn't even need the crystals. It's not really... It's fine. That wasn't really worth it. Okay, that was kind of worth it. It was extremely worth it. That was the most worth it thing I've ever seen in my life. Hey, what's up, Aldrin? Give me stuff off the screen? You're completely right. Well, you might have just missed that then. I, did some irresponsible choices. It paid off. Well, I said I needed a new one, right? At reset tonight, I actually could possibly get this to 6 stop by lock. Yeah, we'll take that. Usable. Some speed rolls. That's all you needed to see. So where are we? I feel like we haven't actually ended up doing all that much. We've measured a lot, but haven't made the tough choices yet. The hard cuts. That's not entirely true. We cut bounty hunters. We started sowing their mods to the masses. This could have been an old Ben mod almost. $350 feels like an alright spot. This is like what I aimed for with Shakti when I was aiming to outspeed Darth Revan. And I would expect 3v3 Darth Revans to be faster than 5v5s. Alright, we need to stop by Amp Troopers real quick. There's a whole lot of stuff to discuss that I haven't even touched on for... Okay, what's up? I don't like Finn's positioning right now. Finn feels like a mismatch. Like, yes, it would be nice to have both of the brothers high speed and tight together. If I was gonna do that, I might as well just give Poe a speed set. I'd be fine doing that, actually. I do think I care about them more just being close together rather than actually having Poe damage modded. Why do I get all the luck? Well... Careful what you asked for. 4 misses. Debatable. What do I call this? 4 misses. Definitely 4 misses. Definitely 4 misses. Definitely 4 misses. The potency set percent offense can be kind of fun. This one's kind of okay. It's just a bunch of stats. But still, it was a speed gamble. 4 misses. I also do kind of like the potency on this mod, but it's still missed speed. This mod is just trash. This mod is actually kind of sick, don't worry about it. Let's add in the soon-to-be rejects. This one hit eventually, but yeah. This one was very, very nearly another tragedy. And then this one hit percent defense twice and flat offense once ever since 16. This was already like this was like, to me, this was gonna be one of the safer ones of like, oh, you know, we got 3 synergy hits, you know, 20 speed, 50% of 25 to 26, but you know, should be pretty fine no matter what. And then we just hit defense 3 times. Don't worry about it. All of that being said, are we going Stark fastest? We could do a contingency where we set up for Gideon fastest and set Stark to be 90% of that. But I also want troopers to be self-sufficient at Gideon. Speed triangles just aren't happening. Speed triangles are like B teams only. It's just the way that my collection is. I guess B speeds. Sorry, not to be. I feel like CLS has some claim to some of these. $322. I feel slow. I mean, it feels slow because we have a 15-speed triangle. All right, talk to me here. I think there's room to penny pinch on Sith Assassin even more. It's possible we'll regret this. So basically, either or take one. Let's try 14 on for size. 318. We're, yeah, 358 still. 338 for an imp trooper. Our Scion should be competent enough to be able to still cause issues for that. Speaking of, so we need to cascade his speed. It's actually not even that hard. It needs to be 36% of Sith Trooper? Or Sith Assassin? Get 358 times points. 674. Oh, 64. God, yeah, this is ridiculous at forgiving. It needs to be like a 189 Scion minimum. Yikes. Okay. If you're offering. I don't know that we really did to change much from this. Maybe pick up like a couple of premiums. One of these would feel alright. We could actually even bulk down a little bit even harder. Grab some more armor. I don't know if it's a mistake, so what are we at right now? Relic 5 Scion, his stat spread. It actually does end up being a little bit protection favored. I mean, the health came from the Geo's anti, but we're kind of past that era now. We've evolved beyond that. Maybe. Yeah, Sentinel ever were given the protection regen. I guess so, if we're just looking for max bulk. God, the League music is hit or miss. Sometimes it's dope, sometimes it's just thematics. And nothing wrong with thematics, but hey. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to like CA defense, triple defense, protection, spam. I don't know why my plan at first was health. I think it's just because of the old Geo's modding. I don't see much reason to run it here though. At least for Relic 5. I mean, Relic 7 still might not even be the right spread. Oh god, he has Protection Mastery. Wait a minute. Wait, he's insane. Alright, wait. Yeah, he's a tank. Okay. Yeah, no wonder. Cass really is kind of hogging this then. Hey man, with CG's rolls, you never know. I make no assumptions anymore. And even if he was, yes, I still don't assume that tanks will get good mastery. Just call it a pleasant surprise. We can just trade down most of the speed. Just go... How greedy we want to get? Let's start here. I know we have, like, the ability to go even further beyond. If we really wanted. Gas L3 taking all the good defenses. Yeah. I don't really care about my L3 that much, though. I feel like she's mostly just utilitarian these days. Depends on how you're using her, though. If I'm using Ray clones, that's kind of an afterthought as well. Or Fias is kind of afterthought. Not sure on that one yet. If our speed is super forgiving, this would be like God tier for helping blockade troopers. Any potency that we can pick up along the way. I mean, Sith Eternal Emperor gives us how much? 40%? Oh, 60%. Oh god, we really don't even need potency then. Building for this. At that point, we're just down to 85%. The usual B2. Grievous, I'm just kind of decommissioning altogether. I'll build them for like minimum usage for offense, but other than that, I'm kind of down to just strip and tear until it is done. Sure. $207. If we don't go triumvirate with just a Eternal, it's gonna be a really awkward triumvirate to have. But hey, at least this sign is gonna be. Maybe a little bit too committal. I don't know. Do we even? I kind of skimmed past crit avoidance after seeing gas. Running offense trend. Haven't decided yet. I guess haven't really gotten that far in. Probably. I was thinking, like, I assume that Scion into Nihilus into Traya is the usual turn order. The biggest issue with that is just my mods. So let's see, 245 just to make sure. Yeah, there's no way. 245 divided by 0.64. Yeah, 382. Yeah, still plenty. Yeah, I mean, Traya does have the 6 stacking. I mean, let's see. What space do we even have to play here? It's not pretty. Believe me. I mean, we'll probably end up having to go broken set offense. Nope. I'm about to just go back to low fire or some shit. Sure. Choo-choo train. I've got Traya Relic 5. I feel like that could be a fun spot to actually just flex some of my crit chance sets and like actually just give her full CD. That sounds like a really bad idea in some cases though, but you could, I feel like I could get her just bursting some people. Is that Grievous missing mods? It feels like it might be. The order is a little bit thrown off. Yeah, dude. Like, if I could just get... Like, what's Treya's base crit chance? I want to say it's like 19. Like, sub 20s, I'm pretty sure. Feels bad not building up vultures. Especially since we didn't end up getting the kill because we don't have any overcharge. God, dude, this fleet shard. I was gonna say, Houndstooth seems a little bit worse for wear, but I don't think I've seen a 4-star Houndstooth in ages. We are taking a scenic route though because of missing a couple of ship kills. I know I said scenic route, but this is like full scenic. I haven't had one of these in a while. Alright, can we just... Thank you. That took longer than it needed to. 30 crit, she saw us ridiculously high offense. Yeah, but you haven't seen my offense mods. Just use offense primaries offense set. Yeah, about that one. Let me give you a quick rundown what we're working with here. Which cross would you like? You have two. And the triangles, you're starting at 10 speed and working your way down, which I guess we've established. Speed doesn't really matter that much for the opening combo, but it's not great. Mm-hmm. I like this. This is good. If I rub them together to make one mega set. Now. Compare. What's she working with? Wait a minute. She's not on crit chance primary, right? And we got like 3% extra. 32%? I can work with 32%. How's that her health circle ideal for their bonus? But yeah, she's definitely getting health. But just... God, I'm really nervous about my imp troopers. Like, they do kind of need these, but also... range doesn't. Or shore doesn't. Or snow. The last one that I didn't name. Just have so many options. This slot is just ridiculously loaded, and some of these mods haven't even hit full potential yet. It's good stuff. She always does isolate on first move, right? Does she ever do Saber Storm first? I assume not. God, I would actually almost love to just give her this. We're not actually going to do this, but I just want to see it. I want to feel it firsthand. Why do I always end up landing at 65%? I swear. I'm cursed. Even then. Yeah, not really enough to be worth it. I guess that would be 2 out of 3 crits on the Saber Toss. Have her fastest in the entry order? I mean... What is her AI target for Isolate? I was thinking maybe she would drop it on Nihilus after the Drain, but I guess either way, it kind of works out. Yeah, fair enough. not found or competing with Beskar Mando. Beskar Mando, less priority. Whatever, I actually don't really mind corner cutting a 5 dot that badly. It gives 10 others being hit by AoE. That's true. I thought it would be fine though, because if I was opening with Scion Pain first, then it would mean that they should have trouble killing him anyway. I wasn't sure if that was a good way to think about it, but that was my thought process. I guess the problem is if we're gonna like underclock her just to use its assassin speed, that still means that the Saber Toss is coming out more slowly. That is kind of an issue. Probably wishful thinking, but let's see. Still running into favorable set issues. I mean, let's... It's an abomination, but... Like, this is the biggest issue. My offense sets just aren't really up to snuff. So, like, yeah... 11.4k. You could probably hit 11k just by using crit damage, but it's just 65% is like bare minimum crit chance to feel okay about. Yo, what's up, Frodo? And just hanging out, planning things out. Kind of, not like fully stuck, but I'm a little bit stuck in terms of just having to decide between, do I want my counters to be on point or do I want to lean even harder on defense modding? Oh, Sierra? Yeah, I mean... I am running into CA depth issues as well. I might be down to just ditch CA Ray then. It's either gonna be that, or Kylo, or Nihilus. Someone has to get short-changed this round. This does satisfy. This doesn't feel like a good set though. I just know that the mods are bad, and so I don't like have extreme confidence in this. You know, I mean, I'm brand new to Eternal Emperor. I haven't really tried offense bomb or anything yet, but I'm down. See if I feel slow. Okay, let's do this. You and don't really care about you being 5 that badly, and maybe go fishing for a % offense. Man, I actually did some work on offense sets lately, and I thought we were better than this by now. I mean, this is the one that I picked up. broken set, we're down 6k. 5.5k. I don't know, that's a weird one. We'll come back to that. I don't know what it is, just... Even after putting time into it, I barely found any of these. I might even just desperation roll these one more time just to see if this hits 15, 13, 14. Trey's a damage dealer? Yeah. When Cyan is critically hit, gain plus 12% offense stacking for 2 turns. Now imagine Imp Troopers, anything like that, just trying to kill a Cyan that's built to eat their barrage for a long, long time. Yeah, totally. You see the bonus protection she stacks, but not the percent offense stacking. It was the biggest bummer to me of having a Gear 12 Trey for so long, is her Saber Toss has so much potential. I just... For me, it was basically a utility school parked at Gear 12. Alright, you. Speaking of... I actually don't want to overcommit on speed too hard here. He should be third in the right? Cyan should definitely be second. Haven't really checked to know where we're at speed-wise, but just grabbing stats I want to see so far. I mean, 2 places in third. This feels like it should be on Nihilus. This really does. We'll swap him out. Give you, I don't know. You almost want more on armor than anything. Oh, that's true. Well, Nihilus gains Terminator with debuffs. Or is it both? I'm pretty sure it's just one debuffs. But we might be clocking for something that's not. That he's just going to pull ahead of it anyway. I mean, Sith Assassin is still going first, so everyone should be maintaining the turn order. Right? The first time that they'll counterattack would be Scion going after my Sith Assassin. And Sith Assassin we have clocked for most competitive Star Group yet. I would say like 95th percentile of top 100 guilds. None of these are really doing it for me. One more armor. I mean, yes, but... we'll do it. I feel good about that. That feels like a good swap. Man, I don't know. How badly does Trey even actually need the crit avoidance? I'm feeling a little bit skeptical. So much left to do. Malik fast. Oh, right. Alright, so we're basically going to do like a slower Darth Revan has been tripping up some Vaders lately, so we're going to be running that, but I also want to do fast Malik tenacity. I think Blade mentioned that as a possibility. Yeah, Griff. That is a perfect time to mention the joy of hot utils. Oh, I haven't actually done this matchup in a while. I think I prefer not actually cleansing either of them. I think we let the buzz droids go here just so we don't get ability blocked. We could go here for the buff immunity. I don't really like leaving Hyena alone, but we do land the buff immunity, so it is kind of worth it. Just for a fast Houndstooth kill. We're gonna have to reestablish the buzz droids on Hyena, but we are getting a pretty quick fight right now. Sure, why not? Just take a stun. Actually, man, I really wish that we could replace reinforcements, just like kill off one of our own ships. Or we could just lose a ship. Okay. Simple enough, although I do have to refresh if I'm gonna make. Yeah, because we got knocked to 28, we're not even gonna get first. My problem is second in fleets isn't actually worth a refresh. We were minus 25%, or not percent, but we're minus 25 crystals off of it. So we lose 100 fleet currency, but that's about it. Alright, the way I've been enjoying playing this matchup out is buff Sunfac and then just kill their Virtua Droid right off the bat. It denies them Terminator for their Vulture Droid dying otherwise. I cursed your challenge material rolls? Nah, you were just due. You've been on a pretty big hot streak. I think you would agree with that. Falcon, eh? That's how you're playing it. I'm starting to get repeats. This could go sideways. Or this could get punished. Eh, not if that's happening. to dodge. Okay. I'm so tired. Alright, where the heck were we? We're looking at Triumvirate. It's possible. I think I'm gonna be a little bit nervous scouting people. There's definitely a room to regret Sith Assassin being this slow overall. I mean, 358. 238 in troopers is about most people's range that I would expect to fight. I haven't even talked about you yet. We just give you a 15 average. What even happens? Not even 15. Around 14s and 13s. And dude's clocking through 15 speed. Okay, I mean. Yep, just casual through 15, as you do. You know. Do we... I don't think I have a reason to care about his potency, right? Control the situation and his unique are mostly what I'm there for. And I'm pretty sure Armor Strike can't be resisted either. Yeah. We can kind of sidestep. Theoretically speaking, if I'm taking the Zeta, then we probably don't want to be on protection primaries. The actual best would be to go health primaries. It's just a question if we can spare them. What kind of type of damage are we doing here? 3 health sets for starters. That's some pretty significant damage. Yeah, we'll just take a 15. Whatever. Who am I kidding? 331. So, if we're looking to outspeed Finn pose, I guess this would outspeed Finn going on a second turn after inheriting post speed. Doesn't exactly feel fantastic. His days can't be resisted by leader tags. Yeah, but it's not really. If he's just on anti-raid duty for the most part right now. Should we be modding him in case we decide to bring him for anti-Imp Troopers? Or for anti-Eternal Emperor? That Armor Shred actually could end up being very, very clutch for my Gear 12 stuff. God, there's so much to think about remodding. I even did like a to-do list just so it'd be easier to track, but even still... The problem is if we go crit damage, it's not going to feel great. We are just going to have to commit a little bit to what we want the dude to actually be doing. come game time. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing, but I really don't want to give him that much. Like, I was thinking of trying to do like you do like a soft Stark setup where he's fast enough for most stuff, but then you could clock Stark to 90% of Gideon and just give Gideon a ton as like an emergency button, but I really want most of my speeds to be on defense. I kind of like this framework. It's just a question of speed sets from here. Like, this feels okay. Maybe we were supposed to go offense cross instead. I think, like, double health. I mean, out of curiosity, what speed is your Stark at? $297, damn, so you're... Alright, 287 would still be fine for farming geos or whatever. Oh, are you going Piet fastest? I didn't catch you said Piet count out speed. I don't know, damage Piet has just a lot nicer numbers than damage Stark in general, but it is costing a lot more to try to keep him afloat. Out of curiosity, why do you want most of your speed on defense? You just plan on using counters on offense that do not rely on speed as much? Yeah, the general premise for the season that I've had is with my mod luck being what it is. I mean, it's not even mod luck, it's just with my, like, I do have 25% speed slice rate out of all my 60, but like, it doesn't give you an idea. My 25s end here, 25 plus. We have 22. Yeah. 22, 25 plus. And you get down to the 24s, we got 6 extra. 23, we got 4 extra. So the whole idea being that I think I can just flood people out on, in terms of mod advantage on defense, and just hit people with, especially like that was the whole idea behind this. With the 367 Django, or 366 Django, 367 Bosk, the 352 Kara, the 362 Queel, with the bros being even faster. Yeah, I just want to try to convert the results that I've got in my mods, going hard on speed gambling early, into making my defense a nightmare. The bounty hunters, I think the 367 Bosk, 366 Django, it just trades into Padme for 55, the same as if they were just modded a different way. So I kind of want to just rebuild them for anti-Darth Revan. And like, if I decide to put them on defense, then they'll still probably draw like a Padme 55 or something, unless they're too slow and just become imp chipper food. I mean, we could scrap Beskar, put the bros back with Rey, but like without IG-11, I think that's a bad idea. We just don't really have a good... Without IG-11, we're just in a clunky spot right now. God, how... Am I actually considering gearing IG right now? We might be close. He actually, okay. We're close on almost everything except for stun cuffs. Homeboy needs a lot more than I have handy. Yeah, it's not really happening by lock. There's no way. Yeah, it's all about, I mean, to me, right, with the whole reason for this setup of 366 Django, 367 Bosk is Bosk activates Taunt, he gets Frenzy, Django does AoE, that gives Bosk 100% turn meter, he does the Mass Assist. I had the next Bounty Hunters clocked to go right after, so Mando with 280 would get 100% turn meter, take a turn from there. Grief Karga was clocked to go right after him, so he would take a turn, get the other Mass Assist, Boba gets dragged along. The whole team cascades. That's the general idea of pretty much all of these, right? Is just, unless you can figure out a solution that will either disable it, i.e. bringing Han, but you only have one Han to bring, or you go shock clones and you just happen to have a Rex fast enough to be able to go first, you're going to take a beating and or just lose outright. This Kara Mon Mothma team is really, really good for causing just surprise losses, especially. It is rough, though. My roster has hit a lot of new teams that have a lot of key mod demands, and trying to balance it all is kind of chaotic now. That was kind of supposed to be on Eternal Emperor. Like, Gideon's damage will get there eventually, but this feels like Eternal Emperor mod to be first and foremost. I don't know. Like, the defense especially is kind of a dead stat as well. And kind of shoehorned. Gideon is okay with some defense as well. Demoralize especially would just help him stay even stickier. Not a whole lot of good percent health. Man, I'm getting more overlap on Eternal Emperor and Gideon than I expected. Maybe I just bought in too hard on Gideon percent health, though. This feels okay. I really don't know that much about Eternal Emperor's modding. The offense seems low, but I say that without, like, much to really be able to do about it. At least not without extra 60 mats. And what if? This would actually be a fairly nice 60 here. Could swap them out. I mean, this is a setup that I wouldn't really recommend trying for the most part unless you have the extra speed. Right, like, And to some degree, some of these teams, like, you almost have to double down. Like, with the Beskar team that I ran. Like, in 3v3, the comps that I suggested were fine because you could just do 1 or 2 in a vacuum. This is like, if they have any amount of overkill, it's just going to crumble and your mods are going to get wasted. You kind of have to hit them with everything at once for things to really line up. Because, like, Padme can beat one of these teams, right? But you can't Padme all of them, for example. Which is why I almost feel better about the triple team rather than, like, cutting one of them and keeping these two. I know that's a little bit too slow for Eternal Emperor. I just don't know what to think for the dude. See other issues if I actually want to go offense on Rey. Just don't really have the mod bandwidth to do it. Could maybe we just rob R2. R2 is probably just going back onto JTR duty, now that I think about it. Just mod him for that. Poor Grievous going back to the olden days. It's not bad for him, right? But just... yeah. The good stuff. We really are just on a shortage of crit avoidance then, or at least we would have to do like a 5 dot on someone, which doesn't feel great. Let me just rob Trey of the crit avoid. .262 is a little bit slower than I want, but it's close. Maybe we don't go CA after all. Maybe just take a even split. God, I don't really have the crits to go through this, but this is actually kind of sick. And the crit chance is kind of a dead stat first at the Empire, but kind of what I'm looking for almost. What about you? It's actually kind of a bad. Like you're looking for a 2.5 out of 5 roll, but workable. Speaking of crit avoidance, though, we do know who is going to be expecting one. That is probably where Atreus is going to go. Yeah, I'm definitely just kind of getting stretched past limit here. I don't even know what I'm doing with the crew yet. I've just been blowing him off of all of his mods. It feels like it almost might be too slow. Like, she kind of needs to come online for bounty hunter fights, but... $208, $205... Damn. Something for a bit of extra room. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, slow tanky BSF, I don't really remember what their average speed range was. It's the first time I've actually tried building it. I've only fought against it before. Maybe we just keep the squared at double digits. Okay, so we're looking for 284 Malik with tenacity builds. Is this easier said than done? God, we actually need an extra speed arrow. It's less than ideal. If we could make this without, so be it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Not with a 10 speed. A valiant effort. Unless... How slow can Chewie reasonably go? Not that slow. Decently, that maybe that slow, but that leaves Ness in a really awkward spot if she's on Padme duty. Protection arrow, I don't actually mind that much, but this might be. Yeah, 239 is like pushing it. I mean, maybe we could add some speed back here, so kind of balance it out. Get the CD. I don't mind that. Lose the protection, triangle. Huxman actually might not mind picking it up either. %149% tenacity is a little bit on the low ends. God, I really wish that the factions carried over between these screens. I got really disoriented there. Who got untenacity'd? That was Auburn. I don't care. Yeah, I think I'm sticking with the PF fastest. Unless I'm just overthinking how fast I really need Stark to be. 350 is actually kind of wild, I guess. I mean, what's the most common Sith Eternal Emperor comp? GAC meta. What? Wait, is filtering gone? It's only for the counter page. Ah, that's annoying. I guess we'll just go here. I was really hoping that the filters would work for anywhere. So that we could filter by scene. Huh? Oh, that has to be auto post. Oh, I guess just like a demoralized cheese. Why are we in 3v3 then? Wait a minute. So a decent amount of Sith Assassin. I don't know. Maybe we just run it for a season, see how it feels. Come back to it later. $25. I believe this is probably not going to be enough. 25% Terminator plus. I like to count down one crossbow hit, so let's say 33%. That by 0.67. 335. Yeah, it falls short. Basically, the whole idea being, I'm pretty sure Veteran Han doesn't gain accuracy on relics, so we have to count around him potentially missing once. At least try to if we can. So tired. Grab percent offense down here. Rob Ahsoka blind. Take that happily. This feels too slow though. Let me just try it. It is some nice offense. Just not in the triangular area. Yeah, biggest. I was like, there's gotta be a 5 dot that can make things make sense a little bit better there. That felt a little bit bad just giving her like a 5 speed arrow and calling it. And I'm missing ships, whatever. Rey is still somewhat undetermined. So we essentially decommissioned Bosk and Django. We already had Sith Assassin, so I don't know. It feels like we lost some speed and didn't necessarily regain it anywhere else. Still want to decommission Poe. I'm just going to take his mods off, actually, just to cement that in stone. I mean, some of these could very easily just go to Han for a faster mirror. We made a Finn faster, freed up some 20 to 24s maybe, but it really is just because of that crit avoid arrow on gas that he was just grabbing speed wherever he could. Man. $287 is like okay. I don't think it's necessarily blowing anyone or anything away, just yeah, if we want that offense cross, it's gonna limit our bracket a little bit. Okay, still guarded. I figure it should be fun, especially if we have CLS in the modding he does. I just want to make sure. I guess we didn't actually change Chupio at all, though. Yeah, I mean, if we just do like a... God, I feel like we're gonna end up realizing that like a decent amount is creeping into our offense counters now, though. Finn, fair enough. Vader, Han, still defense. Assassin, sure. Gas, still doesn't... Unless, I don't know. We could just nerf Gas speed a little bit. Cheat down a bit. It is kind of nice to have him fast, though. It's okay, it's okay. We did speed him up a little bit. Still in the 25. CLS grabbing a 24. So we made our Finn more competitive and gave Kylo more of what he craves. Fair enough. I don't know if his defense primary is set okay or his protection is better. I don't know the math for Empire Trooper. I mean, how good are your defense secondaries? You can still rock the protection primary and still get really, really sick defense, like I used to do with 5s. Just depends on how much you've worked on defense, really, right? You need some of this in your life. Some of this. Why choose? I don't know. Even with broken set, we're still not really pushing that much speed yet. Yeah, I want to say that defense has diminishing returns, but I'm not actually sure that's how it works. It's hard to say. This feels kind of bad. Having 2 imps side by side. Mathematically, I'm not sure, but to me, it makes sense that you would want the extra protection for that defense to be able to apply to, right? Is at least how I look at it. But I think it's one of those situations where the curve, like, even though it's like only a 4% more increase, it's something, one of those weird, like, I forget the word off top, but like, even though it's like only jumping from like 81 to 85% or something. That's still like an insane change. Logarithmic? I don't think it's log though. I guess the problem is like Gideon versus Ray. I need to decide what I want to do with them exactly. Because Gideon versus Ray doesn't really need to be all that fast. I guess just if you're trying to beat out the Fing combo. I don't know. I am kind of just falling asleep right now, to be honest. I've just been clicking around mods, just thinking. But not even really thinking, just like... yeah. I'm kind of past my energy limit. Kind of surprised I even made it this long. I mean, we decommissioned a team. We patched a couple of teams up. Not exactly a definitive remod, though. I mean, the thing that I'd like to do is try to make the hard choices first, so that from this point, like, all I'm really going to be doing off stream until I lock is just filling in the holes. So Piet will get a damage set, to which we could sort by unmodded. Padme fill in the usual health. Ray decide on an identity. Just wrap that up. JTR make sure that they clock all right. We've done most of the hard work. It's just, yeah. Also, I'm hoping that at reset we can get a couple of 60s in. I was hoping to get more done on stream, but yeah, this is, aside from like when I just got Imp Troopers and Mon Mothma and Bounty Hunters all built in one lock and had to like figure it out, this is like probably, this isn't quite as hectic as that was because that was just a lot to try to figure out at once, but this is like the sibling twin of that. Still kind of hard to, just a lot of new teams competing for the same mods. I don't really know where I stood on it yet. I definitely am feeling the depth squeeze. We need to hang out here for a bit. I did a bunch like last month too, but it just wasn't enough. Offense is in need, health is in need, 60s in a need. It's crazy. All right, I don't know. I'm gonna call it there. Good evening, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I hope some of this was informative, although yeah, it wasn't exactly like dressing down a remod from start. It was just like trying to figure out small tweaks to min-max everything. We'll see. I don't know. I'll show off what the final product looks like. Or maybe it might not even be equipped by lock. I'll show it on stream or something. We'll see. Alright. Hopefully, I'm gonna make this even spicier by then. Whatever happens, yeah. Peace out. Have a good evening.